So guys, welcome to the Nova Fitness Unfiltered podcast. Today, we've got a very, very special guest, Mr. Blair Mullen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm alright, how are you? Right, Blair, now that we've had the wee introduction and stuff like that to the podcast, so for anybody that's listening to the podcast that might not know you, right, can I reintroduce yourself, job, family life, that sort of thing?
So I'm Blair. I work offshore as a mechanical technician, so quite a fairly labour-intensive task. I've got a daughter who's 5, my wife, Rain, we stay in Grangemouth, just normal run-of-the-mill family. We argue, we get on, and we both try and go to the gym as much as we possibly can and stay as fit as we possibly can. And in between all that, we obviously look after our daughter and try and keep her happy, which is getting more and more difficult.
What age is your daughter? What age is your daughter now?
5.
5? 5.
5 just past Christmas there.
So talk us through the start of your fitness journey.
So, it used to, when I was younger, I used to play rugby. I played rugby. I'd done fencing, which not meaning like
fencing.
Is that the
not
swords?
Swords.
Is that
No
the sword?
building fences.
Actually,
right,
like swords like
fencing.
It's so
right, you've got the wee mask on and you go, hiya.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I was
On
actually, call me D'Artagnan. No, I was Scottish champion at like under 14s or something like that. And there's a college in Edinburgh who wanted me to go through and do like a scholarship with them. Tony Blair actually went to that. No, Gordon Brown went to that college, but
Right.
it wasn't really for me.
quite a random fun fact for anybody that didn't know.
I was a pretty good fencer back in my days. I can't build a fence to save my life, but I can use a sword. So and then when I played rugby, just at my local club, ended up getting pretty badly injured, displaced a vertebrae in my neck. Doesn't cause me any issues, so I just ignore it now. And then I done nothing for years and years and years, and let myself get so far out of shape and so big. I think I peaked at like 117 kilo, which looking back now, I was just like, oh my lord, like that's 22 stone or something like that. It's heavy. And then Harley came along, so I stopped smoking. I always said I was going to stop smoking before I had a child. So Harley came along, stopped smoking, running up to her being born, and then about 3 years ago, I said, right, I need to try and do something here. I've got way too out of shape. I need to do something. So I just started going to the gym with my sister-in-law at the time, and then she kind of was like, right, I don't think we're going to work as kind of, she's not going to be my PT sort of thing.
Yeah.
Found another PT, didn't work with him. Found another PT, kind of stuck with him for 6 months, and it was okay. I just didn't really enjoy the training and where it was going. And then my wife Rain suggested having a chat with yourselves. Obviously, Rain knows you from school.
Yep. It's good. Yeah.
So she said that I think she followed you on Instagram, Holly.
Yeah, I think we've been on Instagram for
yeah,
because I didn't click like when you first messaged Stephen. Like I didn't click with the surnames, and it wasn't until you were like, "Oh, my wife Rain," and I was like, "Oh, yeah."
There's no many folk called Rain, is there?
Oh no, a million. Definitely not. But I had just hadn't clicked and put the link together that you were married. Like, do you know that way? I
So
don't know.
obviously you came for a couple of PTs, right? The last one previous to me, the type of training was more.
It was like powerlifting, more just focusing on strength, and I mean I made some progress with him, and again I wouldn't badmouth him. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. He set me off on that journey, but it just wasn't for me. Like eating in a calorie deficit and then trying to test strength every 12 weeks just doesn't make sense. Like you're not going to really gain any strength after the first kind of initial. You will in the first 6 months or so with newbie gains or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
But after that, you're just going to lose strength because you're not putting any issue
Basically,
on.
your body's used to the.
Yeah, exactly.
Used to what you're putting it under now. So now it's a case of like, we need to be eating a surplus to get stronger to build muscle, or we need to be dieting and we need to just be focusing on more reps and whatever it may be. But so he came from more a kind of strength sort of background, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it's like powerlifting, Olympic movements, all that sort of things.
Yeah. And then obviously previous to this, I know, Holly knows, you're quite into kind of bodybuilding now, right? Was that always on your mind when you were with him, or was that a transition after him, or was that like you were kind of just, I don't know, Instagram's full of stuff now. So were you kind of following like the kind of bodybuilding kind of stuff, or it was just a case that I need to change PT? Then that's kind of my background.
Yeah, I think I was never like I want to do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I think growing up, any kid or any boy growing up would be lying if they said they didn't want to hit chiseled abs and have massive shoulders. And it's just everybody wants to be like that.
It's not necessarily, I want to be a bodybuilder. It's, I want abs.
Aye, they just want to look like this Greek god type thing. But then kind of training with this other PT, it was all your three big movements of deadlift, squat and bench. And I was just like, I didn't really enjoy this. I preferred a lot more isolated movements. And then obviously came over to yourself and kind of started doing more bodybuilding style training and actually enjoyed it a lot more compared to
what you were doing.
The three big movements. Obviously they still got their place, but I just preferred kind of isolations, and it just kind of seemed to suit me more. And then after that I started looking into like bodybuilding and following bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times we've had chats over the time, like running up to Olympia, running up to Arnold's, like all of that. It's just something I really enjoy now.
Yeah. But I think you're right. Like growing up as a male, obviously females can be quite similar, but certainly for me, having never been the skinnier boy or having the lean physique growing up through high school and stuff like that, that's something that I'd always wanted.
Yeah.
Was to have abs like that. That to this day, it's still the same thing. But I've recognised that my body type will not be able to just maintain abs unless I'm constantly in some sort of deficit, regardless of community deficit to then a maintenance. My body will always like to be at a level of fat percentage where my abs, you'll see maybe the top two, bottom, like the middle two maybe coming out, but there will always be a pouch, if you like, where you're not going to be standing there looking absolute shredded, right? So growing up like that, that's been a part of it. And that's probably what's kind of shown me into the bodybuilding way. Well, don't get me wrong, because I didn't really know anything else anyway, and the people who I was surrounded with, the gyms I was training in, it was all kind of that degree of style of training. And then when you start following bodybuilding, and everybody knows who the fuck Arnie is, do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Everybody knows who he is, and then when you start going down that rabbit hole, that's what I'm saying. So when you start going down that rabbit hole, and you start seeing all these different bodybuilders, and it's like, right, that's how I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Like, and to be fair, it's probably to get in shape like that, it's probably the easiest and most quickest way of doing it is by bodybuilding.
It's the most optimal, as you would say. Like if you're wanting to get in that shape, that you're going to follow a more bodybuilding.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
100. That's what I was getting at. Like that's the way that you're going to go down. And to be fair, like I think me and you can both agree, which we'll go into in a wee second. Like the first ever photo shoot that you done just recently, right? We'll come back on that again. Like for me, doing my first ever one was the level of push in terms of bodybuilding that you need to do for most people and guys anyway, if they are relatively being heavier throughout their years, that you need to be doing that level of consistent dieting to have any degree of, I would say, physique that you think that you really want in your head. Do you know what I mean? Because it gives you that level of discipline that, and to be fair to bodybuilding, that's what it's gave me, a level of fucking discipline that I ever thought I would ever have.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I definitely have learned all the like the discipline for prep. There's still times where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to have a donut. Yeah, I'm going to allow myself to have it, and you don't worry about it. You just enjoy it, and then the next meal you're straight back on it, or the next day you're straight back on it, and that's where you've learned from, like other like being in a diet or whatever. You understand that I can have this. It's going to put a little bit of water weight on, but I can sort that in a day.
But it's doing the reps, and you've been doing them for a long time, and I'm having this conversation quite a lot at the moment with new clients coming into the team, and it's not what you do every once in a while that matters, it's what you do consistently, and you're nothing but consistent, and you have been since you've joined the team. Yeah. Do you know that way? And that's why you're at that place now where you can have a donut, and it's probably going to make zero difference to any of the progress that you've made, but that's through like I think the years of consistency that you've got.
It's just through repetition of doing things, and it's like, and as I said, like having that degree of focus and consistency and dedication to something that you really want to do to get into the best shape you can be. Yeah. Then when you get into that shape, there's is, for example, reversing back out of it. It's like I don't really want to start eating all this food again because
you don't want to lose that
yeah,
that body you've just
100%.
But there's no other way to get a better body than reversing out and going into a surplus.
Yeah,
it's like
people don't misunderstand the process that you actually need to go through.
Yeah.
Because as much as you can diet for the very beginning, and to be fair, when you first came into me, you were dieting, you were consistently
you were dieting for a long time.
I think so I've been with you for nearly 2 years, and I would say out of those 2 years, there's only been 6 months where I've not been dieting.
Yeah, and you were dieting before you came in the team as well.
Yeah.
So you were
I've basically been
that's
on a
all you
diet
knew
for,
was dieting for a long time.
Apart from maybe 4 to 5 months.
That was through over Christmas last year, wasn't it?
Of that set, like off season, if you like. For the last maybe 2.5, 3 years, I've been dieting.
Even that was hard, but even that's hard to get to a stage where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't keep doing this because I feel like I'm getting too big. The scale weight's going up. But when you looked at pictures for when you were at that weight, for when you were at the weight before,
it was totally different.
It's totally different. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't help here. It doesn't help mentally. That's
I think
the thing.
you've got to go through the process at least once to understand what's going to happen, and then see that you can get all that fat back off again, and then you see what you've actually built.
So obviously going through the stage of dieting, even when you came to me, right, we were in a dieting phase, we were pushing for ages, and then things started to take a stall, right? Now, I know you won't mind me talking about this because it's one of the big reasons I think it'll help potentially a lot of males anyway that may be listening to this eventually. But we were dieting, and you can see we were dieting for a good while, we were dieting hard.
Yeah.
And I'm at the stage of going like, there's no much moving here, and we can't really do much more with it.
We couldn't put up output. We couldn't drop food anymore. It was getting a bit stale.
There was a remark just for me, just being obviously knowing my background and stuff like that with blood work and stuff, and it was like, have you ever had your blood work done? And during that, you'd actually were like that to me. I was actually thinking about that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just because you were into the bodybuilding thing and you've been seeing stuff with blood work and stuff, so it's maybe something that's already crossed your mind. But then I had mentioned it, and then we decided to go down that route and just say, look, let's just see what your testosterone level's sitting at.
Yeah.
Because what you're telling me, the new fatigue, tiredness, like we're not losing any more fat, these are signs of what could potentially be low test. So we got the blood work done, and then talk us through that.
Yeah, so it all kind of stemmed from, I'd lost about 5 stone in total, and I was like, I want to just get a health check. I want to see how much damage have I done to my body by being so obese. And then obviously came back with the results that my testosterone was low. I think it was at like 8 nanomol per litre or something like that. It was really low. And even the doctor who done the reviews of the bloods was like, yeah, you should go to your GP here. Like this is pretty low. So I went and I didn't even bother going to the GP. The NHS said for TRT is pretty useless. You spend about 2 years trying to get to see an endo. So I looked into doing it private, spoke to a company called Optimal, who have been brilliant with me. They understand that I work offshore, so I can't just jump and get a blood test whenever I need it. They kind of, if I've got to wait a couple of weeks, then they're fine. I went and got another blood test to confirm again that it was still low. It went up very, very slightly, but not noticeable at all. And then after that, I was prescribed TRT.
So just to let everybody know, like, when this began and we got prescribed TRT, what age were you?
I was, what was it, last year? I think it was prescribed it when I was 31.
Yeah. So just for anybody listening to this, for a male, typically when you turn 30, now that doesn't mean it won't happen before your 30s, but your testosterone declines by 1% more or less every year. Now that's somebody who's potentially already eating healthy, resistance training, and the healthiest that they can be. So just to, and then when Blair said endo, he meant an
endocrinologist.
Yes, an
Is it similar to women
endocrinologist.
but as well? Because once women turn 30, like our muscle atrophy, like by 1% declines.
Aye, so that was a very interesting factor, and just to confirm as well, by the way, that Optimal is a private company.
Yeah, completely private healthcare.
It's all privately done. It's done by the book. Everything's done by the book. It's no.
The doctors are not going to risk their medical license for anything. So and it's all done proper. The rules are you need 2 blood tests consecutively within a certain period. I can't remember how long it is. Under 15 nanomol per litre to even be eligible to be prescribed TRT. And then yeah, once you have them, then they can prescribe it. But there's
So
still
how
other
would you
things.
say it's like changed, like obviously benefited you?
Oh, it's benefited me massively. Everything, like my sleep's better. I'm a lot more level-headed. I do still have the odd blowout, but it's very few and far between now. I used to be pretty, I wouldn't say angry, but it'd be like kind of the most silliest little things would annoy me.
Like a short fuse.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
and I always just put it in. That was me.
But I
That
also
needs to be
think that
rare.
can come down to having the fatigue and
Yeah, well,
tiredness
that's it.
of
Yeah,
not
so
having.
like, not
do you
being
know
able to
what I mean?
get decent sleep,
Yeah.
just always feeling run down. All that all kind of adds into the fact that you're easily pissed off. But now, I mean, that's been, was that for 14, 15 months I've been on TRT, and I feel a whole different person now.
Yeah.
And what about like with family life as well then? Because obviously you're a family man.
Yeah.
Is it benefited
Oh
obviously?
yeah, I
like
would say
family
like
life?
I certainly think Rain's probably noticed a massive difference in me. Just being generally more happier, and
Yeah.
not that I don't think I was ever to the point that wasn't good to be around, but
It's just that was your normal.
that was me. Like,
Yeah.
But now, like, she knows as well. Like, if I'm in a trough, and if I've had to extend before I take like say if I got to extend before I take my next injection for a blood work or whatever, she knows like, right, I'm just going to leave him and tell him the bad news after like a couple of days, like a couple of days wait or whatever, just to allow me to come back up again, because you do notice it, especially when your levels are so concentrated at high levels. So like I'm at the top end of the range all the time.
Yeah.
Because that's what they want you to be there. That's where you're optimal. So when it starts dipping, I feel it. And it's so
But it's
subtle.
just mad to think that you were that low for that long.
Yeah, and
you
I
just
just
thought
accepted
that
it.
was
Yeah,
just,
but I think
that was just
I
your
think
norm.
the thing is here, like we don't actually know how long that could have been.
I know,
for.
it could have
Do you know
been,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
a long
that could have
time,
been
yeah.
since you're 28, 29. It could have been fucking.
I
you
think
just
it's
don't
been
know.
a lot longer, because
know what
I
I
mean
mean?
I was diagnosed with depression when I was early 20s.
Yeah.
And after like doing all the research into TRT and testosterone deficiency, looking back, I'm like, was that depression or was it just
Your hormones?
Was it
Yeah.
just hormones? And 1 in 4 men suffer from TRT, from testosterone deficiency.
Yeah.
So more than likely,
It
if I
comes
had it
to
when I
mind.
was 31, I've already probably had it when I was a little
Yeah.
lot younger.
So
It's
if
just
you
been
if you
declining.
imagine with these statistics, right? One of the NHS and that don't fucking give
Yeah.
it.
Aye,
Do you know what I mean?
costing
Because
a lot.
Oh, yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Aye, when they're already under so
and
much.
that's the thing as well. Like, obviously, when you get like male suicide and stuff like that, it's like it's one thing that they never check.
Yeah.
It's
They
like
never do.
and it's a massive thing. It comes with low test. It's depression.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's just overall, it's a fucking main male hormone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So glad that we obviously kind of we managed to speak about that, because I think it's the first person, especially a client, that we can actually sit and
Yeah,
have
I mean,
a
I'm-
discussion with. That's
I'm
what I mean. I know
very,
you're
very
open about
open,
it because, as I said, it's helped you massively and stuff like that. Obviously, now getting into the first proper dieting phase we done was for the holiday,
Yeah, for last year for Turkey. Yeah.
which you got in decent shape for.
Okay. Let's be serious.
Well, if you want to compare it,
We're going to hate to compare it. It was okay, but not mine.
It was
I'd
the
say it was
first one.
probably the best at that point. You'd
Yeah,
ever
it was
been.
the best I'd been in that point. Yeah, definitely. But now looking back in hindsight, it was nowhere near as good as a condition as I went on a holiday this year.
Yeah,
Aye, but that's because you've
yeah.
still stuck to it, and
Yeah.
you're now another year of progress
But,
down the
but I
line.
think this is what we need to let people understand, whether it's male or female. You've been dieting for however long, came into me, us, dieted again for another few months, then came out of a diet into a push-up phase, into maintenance into push-up phase, then into dieting again for your holiday, then came back out again to then diet for the fucking big grand finale, the photo shoot, right? Which was something that Blair said he would never ever do, by the way, just to say that. That was a question that I'd asked, I'll never do them, I'll never get abs.
Aye.
When we decided to do it, what did I say to you?
No, I said I'm never doing it, and then I said I was bored and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I was like, right, I'll do a photo shoot, fine. And then I think it was it. If we're doing a photo shoot, I'm getting abs.
Aye.
And we got abs.
Aye, of
we
course
still
we
got abs now. It's
The
amazing.
question is, Pat, right? The question is, why were you never going to do a photo shoot? Why in your head were you just like, nah, shut that down right
I think
now?
it was just like my mates are brilliant.
That you did say that to me.
My mates are brilliant, right? They'll stand by you through thick and thin, but they give it to me tight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't be bothered with that. Like even then, so Rain had posted pictures after the photo shoot, and within 2 hours, they'd already made memes up and were posting in our group chat, and I was like, fuck's sake, here we go.
But they were also very supportive.
But they
as
were,
well.
they were brilliant, and I was so worried about everyone else's opinions, like what I was doing, that I was like, I don't want to do it because I don't want them to judge me.
Yeah.
Now that I've done it, I could not give two hoots what anybody thinks, because none of them.
I did say this to you, but I says, when I had the conversation with me, when you said that about your mates and stuff, I says, you're doing this for you.
Yeah.
Know your mates. I was like, your mates are your mates. Eventually what's going to happen is that you're going to do the photo shoot, they're going to have a wee laugh, people will support you, then it will disappear.
Aye. Well, that's it.
It's a big build up, you build in your head for something. I mean, you had given it right. When I had done my first photo shoot, I didn't want to take my top off in the gym. Didn't I? Same scenario, right?
Aye.
With you. And I'm in the middle of a fucking gym, with it full, and I didn't want to do it. And I was like, I'm no doing that. I'm not booking this photo shoot and not take my top off, and I did. And I'm glad I did, because when I looked at the photos, I seen abs that I never thought I'd ever have in my fucking life. So, but I built that up in my head because I didn't want the guys at work to see it. I didn't want, do you know what I mean? And it's a thing, it's shite.
People can just be brutal,
it's just, I think you make it worse in your own head sometimes, but then what it is actually going to be. Do you know what I mean? And it's obviously a massive thing. And then I'm thinking of doing a bodybuilding show, and I'm like, I couldn't think of anything worse than stepping on the stage in a fucking fog. Never.
What would we doing?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I did not want to be in a gym with my top off with 10 people in the gym to stand in front of a fucking crowd of a few hundred. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Yeah. And I shit myself on that day when I done that. But after the photo shoot, grew a new level of confidence, which made me being able to do that. Got the same fear, then done that, grew a new level of confidence. It was over and done with within fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then you find out that nobody actually gives a fuck.
Nah.
Nobody actually cares, and that's the thing. And I think, and by the way, this goes all the way back to somebody coming for their first gym session, all the way back to their first class, or like their first high rocks, their first event, doing anything. Like, they build this big thing up in their head, and they think it's going to be,
I mean, it's like,
I can't do that,
so
or
bad.
what are they going to think about me, and it's like, nobody actually gives a fuck.
I mean, I don't know how many times that somebody's joined the team and been like, "Oh, I'm so nervous about going to the gym," and you didn't want to put it so bluntly, but it is just as blunt as that. Is put your headphones in, go into the gym, and just do what you need to do.
But
because
there is
nobody
also,
looks at you, nobody cares, nobody gives a fuck what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're doing something wrong, like as in like a movement, and you're going to hurt yourself, somebody might come in and kind of stop you and just give you a bit of advice. But that's all they're going to do. Is give you a bit of advice to help you. That's it.
Yeah, I think that.
To be fair, but our gym, like, they seem to settle very quickly.
Yeah.
Aye, but I think what we're talking about is just going to any gym. Like, if somebody can't afford like PT or anything,
I think it's just people are scared of
it.
people watching them and thinking they're doing something wrong. Like, I think that's the thing that they build up.
Yeah, and I bet some people build the fear up as like, if somebody comes and asks me something, I'm going to feel stupid.
Aye.
Or I'm going to, or they're going to tell me I'm doing this wrong, and I'm going to feel pure stupid.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to go back again.
It's not like it's
everybody has to start somewhere. Like,
everybody
everybody
go to the gym want to help each other.
Yeah.
Like, they'd rather build somebody up than put them on a pedestal and destroy them. Like,
and if you are at a gym where people are being nasty and being like, fucking change gym, man. You're in the wrong gym. Yeah. Absolutely.
Aye, 100%.
I used to be scared to go into Limitless. Like,
a lot of people say that, but
it was just me. That was nothing to do with the gym. It was just me. Like, I was just like, oh, I didn't really, I'm not sure I fit in there. But now I'm like, right, I'll just go and train whenever.
I think, to be fair to Limitless, I think what they, like, when you train, right, when you first start training and you maybe want to do bodybuilding and stuff, then you see a gym and what's coming up in the sponsored ads and stuff, and it's just huge bodybuilders, IFBB pros and stuff, and you're like, I can't go in there, man. Like, the guys.
The IFBB pros turn out to be the nicest guys ever.
Yeah, 100%.
Gerard is
but I think
a gentleman.
You obviously build that level of competency. Like, for instance, like, how did you feel when you first started? I'm talking about when obviously starting with Raven. How did you feel walking in that gym?
Oh, I was terrified. I was JD up in Cumbernauld Town Centre, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing?
So you had no confidence. You had a bit of gym anxiety. Like, I think everybody starts there, but you need to get through that beginning stage to ever get anywhere else. Like, look at you now, what you've just said, I'll train in any gym. Like, when you go to any gym, just take it and you'll be sound. Like, of course, you'll still be a wee bit nervous. I still head for a treadmill every so often.
I do the same. Like, when we go away and we go to different gyms, like, I'm the same. Like, and I think it's more the fact that I'm not scared to walk in the gym. It's because I walk in, I don't know where it is.
Aye, that
And
is the biggest.
it's no my thing anymore. Like it's out your comfort zone.
You're
as
like,
they would
oh,
say.
everybody knows that I've
It's like,
never trained here,
and
then why I'm
people-
not fair here.
Aye, because the day they walk, they're looking at you, and especially if you're in another country and up your
Aye,
looking at you,
Just
and they're like,
wander around like,
Aye.
right, what's here? What have I got? Like, what can I
Yeah,
use?
aye,
And try to
aye,
kind of
whereas
mentally
everything-
come up with a plan.
Aye, when
You know what I
they're,
mean? Aye,
see, the
yeah,
thing
like
is,
that's
but
what I
half the
do.
times when you're abroad, but and they're looking at you as if you're mental, and you're looking at them like, what the hell are they doing?
no,
'Cause they're
I've
doing
seen some
mental
random
stuff,
doing
man.
some crazy shit, man, on holiday, man, especially in
See, in
Spain, man.
Turkey the other month when I was there, I was just sitting going, what is going on here? I'm just going to keep my headphones in here and just keep working.
Yep. Oh. But that's the thing, you need to go through that stage and embrace that stage of kind of being a beginner, the messy beginning, to ever get to being a bit more competent in the gym. Do you
I
know what I mean?
think obviously we'd done that. We'd done the cut for the holiday, and then we obviously made the decision to do the photo shoot, right? So talk us through that. Like how did you find it, the experience from leading the dieting? Obviously you work offshore. We knew it was going to be a slight challenge, but I think working offshore was probably slightly easier.
I was worried about offshore for like being able to get food, but the guys offshore were brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gutted now that I've left that rig and I'm going somewhere new, and again that's going to be another challenge I've got to come up with. But the chefs were great. I basically said, look, explain the situation. I need chicken and I need rice. I needed basmati, but you can't get it.
Yeah.
So long range has got to do it. And we just adjust macros as required. But they were making me chicken for lunch and dinner, no bother at all. I was having eggs in the morning until they got removed. I ended up started taking food out with me for towards the end. But no, like they were brilliant, really, really good. They helped me. They would always phone me and be like, "What do you need today?" Or like, "How much do you need?" And by the end, obviously, our calories were low, so it was the food was getting less and less. But they would always be like, "Oh no, that's not enough," and try and give me extra food. I'm like, I don't need it.
It's just not there, and it's not understanding, but
but
what
they were
the goal
brilliant.
is.
Yeah,
do you know
but
what I mean?
they'll
Like,
be very
really
helpful, which is
accommodating.
probably a blessing in disguise and all,
Yeah.
because
I
it could
spoke-
have been 10 times worse. It
Well,
could have been
that's
another
it.
way.
I
But
spoke to other guys. Is it Ryan Gabaloni? He used to work offshore. And I spoke to him, and he basically had to take out extra bags with just full of tuna and oats and like his own food, and take his own food offshore, which you shouldn't have to do. But I also understand that they can't cater for everybody's
everybody's
taste.
individual needs.
Yeah.
That's it, innit?
So I was very, very lucky there. But in terms of dieting offshore, no bother. The diet at home initially started off pretty, I wouldn't say rough, but it was difficult to swap back from being in a bulk mode to, right, I'm in prep here for a photo shoot. I need to stick to this religiously.
Yeah.
The first maybe 2 weeks, because I started offshore, which I think was a good idea. And I'll probably do that for the next one, is starting my diet whilst offshore, because it removes so much temptation, because there's nothing, the only food you get offshore is what's there
What's in front of
at
you.
meal times.
Aye, whereas
Unless you want
you've
to
got
go
more
and pay for
time.
unless you want to go and pay for food, but that's just something else to stop you going just eat, you know what I mean? So no, that was fine. And then by the time I got home, obviously I'd been away for Christmas and New Year, so I was like, I still need to celebrate with the family a little bit, because they've not seen me. I think we had an off plan almost straight away. It was like kind of the last off plan meal.
Yeah.
So got to enjoy a bit of food with the family then, and it was that. After that, head down and into the diet. And I would say, I wouldn't say I was 100%. Again, I'm not lying. I don't think anybody doing their first prep will say, unless they're a robot.
Nah.
Aye, no
Nobody's
one's
going to be
a robot.
100% in the first prep, especially at our level. Like
No,
it's just
a lot of people don't understand. Like
you can't be.
You can't be knowing what makes it. Knowing you're working offshore, you've got wains, your fucking wife. Like maybe if you're if you're, I don't know, like you don't work and you live alone and fucking you got nothing else to think of you. Do you know what I mean? It might be that little bit easier, but even regardless to then,
You're still a human being.
like you're still. I
With
mean,
your emotions,
I'll talk. When I done my photo shoot, right, I was legit 10 weeks and I lost just over 3 stone in 10 weeks, right? And it was fucking grim.
Nah, I bet.
But I was dedicated to do it. Holly left a bagel out, right? I don't know if I told you this story. Holly left a bagel out, defrosting, right? And it defrosted. And I just looked at the bagel. I came back from the gym, had a shower to go down and make my last meal, probably a salad. And I looked at the fucking bagel, right? And I picked it up, I sniffed it. Right? I literally sniffed it. And then I took a bite of it. Right? And then I was like, what have I done? And then I took another bite of it.
Heavy, dry, sad bagel.
Just this dry bagel that was staring at me
Not
in the
even
fucking worktop.
toasted.
Not even toasted or nothing.
It's probably
Just-
cold and soggy.
I fucking scranned that bagel and went like, Holly,
I'm sorry.
was that your bagel sitting there? I just ate it. Right? And then I was like, oh no, what have I done? I think I was at 3 weeks out or
Right,
something.
thought you fucked it.
2 or 3 weeks out. I was
Big
like, I've
style.
fucked this diet. I was like, I've fucked it. I said, I need to tell him. I need to tell my coach I fucked the diet. It was like 8 o'clock at night. I WhatsApped my coach and I was like, Arthur, I'm sorry. I've ate a bagel. I fucked it, right?
Yeah, it was
See when
mental, though.
you see when you look back, right?
Looking back, you're like, you're a fucking idiot.
Aye,
What?
aye.
Like,
He
so
laughed.
what?
So
Aye.
He laughed.
he
to be
laughed. He
fair.
said my voice not laughing, right? And he went like, "Don't worry about it. It's just a bagel, right?" And I was like, "No, I've done it. I fucked it." No. And it destroyed me. Don't get me wrong. I woke up the next morning and I dropped a kilo, right?
Aye, so your body
But-
needed it.
Aye, but at that stage, I'm not advanced. I don't know what's happening here, right? So that never happened again. Obviously, that was me. But then when I done my bodybuilding competition, and this is what a lot of people don't talk
Oh,
about.
is this the
Right.
van?
Aye. No. Obviously, different stages of when you're doing dieting and you're cutting, right? There's going to be different things going on in your life. At this stage, I'm self-employed ventilation engineer. I've got guys working for me. I'm on a site running 6 floors. I'm doing 25,000 steps a day, standard. I'm eating 1,300 to 1,200 calories a day, right? And I had to go to Asda to get lettuce for salads, of course. So went to Asda for some reason, but previous to this, I'm going to the bagel bit and buying bagels and freezing them because it releases this
No just
endorphin
bagels,
in my head.
but
No, just bagels, fucking
churros,
churros,
cookies.
cookies and all.
Freezer
Frozen
It was
bagels.
making me feel
Aye,
Aye.
He kept
It
coming
was-
home with stuff for me.
Aye.
Got you this. Like,
Aye,
thanks,
aye.
crumpets, bagels, like
It's
any sort of carbs.
anybody
Got you
that
this.
honestly like it was releasing this and like this in my head as if
Is
right.
it buying it meant you were eating it?
yeah, and I've
Aye.
got it like even
It's
that like
endorphin,
I'll
innit?
freeze it and that I've got
Serotonin.
it when I finish and I can eat them. I end up with a freezer full of fucking churros, cookies and packs of bagels.
And crumpets.
But
don't forget
then
the
and crumpets and all. Sourdough crumpets, I didn't
Oh,
really
they're
eat.
amazing, by the
But
way.
I know
They're
they're
so
class. Then I went to then this time it happened again and I just felt shit. Do you know what it was? I was checking in every single day with my coach and my weight was going up.
Nah.
Right? Every single day and my weight was going up and I'm like, why the fuck is my weight going up? So it just put me in a pure downer.
Yeah.
I said, I've got this competition coming up. I didn't understand because I've never done a competition. And I'd went to Asda Wednesday, I remember it, Wednesday, went to Asda, went to go and get salad, sat in the van, I had a works van at the time, sat in the van and ate a fucking full pack of dry bagels with water.
You also
still
had them
laugh
in the
every time
back
I
as
hear
well,
this.
didn't you? You had the wrappers in the back 'cause
I
you didn't
had
want
the-
me to
I
see them
didn't
as
want you
well.
to see.
That's how
Aye.
like
That's how-
psychological, like
Aye.
your head goes,
Um,
man.
And nobody talks about it. Now, at the time I was doing posing classes with Big Andy Scott, and he's like to me, how you getting on with your diet? How's everything going? And I went, I think I fucked it. Now, this was the Saturday after. And he went, how, what's up? And I says, I told him. And he went, don't worry about it. And I went, what do you mean don't worry about it? And he went, to be fair, he said that he'd more or less, out of the 20 odd shows that he's done, about 19, that he'd had one day where he'd fucked it.
Nah.
And I was like, mate, see you telling me that, which by the way, Andy's now a fucking IFBB pro. That is just, I just felt this pure
Nah.
lift off my shoulders. I was like, nobody talks about this. And I find it very fucking hard that anybody that does their first bodybuilding competition or even second one doesn't have some form of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Even
you,
photo
the
shoots,
more you
like,
do
it's-
it, the
Yeah.
more control you kind of
Yeah.
get over it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But again, it all depends on your life factors at that current time because a lot of people can emotionally stress eat.
Yeah.
Like if
Everyone's
you're
different
just
with
a
how they
guy who
respond, how
kicks
they use
about, you've
food.
no wains and your life's great and you just go to the gym and you can do it, great.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody who has a full-time work, 9 to 5, even if it's very manual, you've got kids here, that alone, the stress is fucking through the roof.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
And
So
night shift as well. You got a wee
that was horrible.
during your prep as well. You
That
got
was
a wee
horrible.
bit
I
of
had night shift for the first time and I don't know how long, and I was like, oh, what did I do? Try to adjust all my eating. That threw me right.
and
off.
that
But
again,
it was
it's
fine, we
thrown
got
off
through
your
it.
fucking circadian rhythm and all, which
Yeah.
is your sleep, that's a whole new ball game and all
Yeah.
because like more tired you are, more hungry you are,
Yeah.
because your ghrelin hormone and your leptin. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, as well, is because I was only doing a week of night shift at a time, I didn't want
messing
to.
about not.
I didn't want to even go full vampire mode. Like I didn't want to go and say, right, I'll just turn right round onto night shift.
Aye.
Because
It was only for
I
a
knew
week.
it was for a week. So by the time I got into night shift, you've got 4 days left, and you're already thinking, well, I need to start thinking about turning back round.
Yeah.
So I done it the week for hell. I think I'd done it twice, maybe even 3 times, where you go to your bed at like 7 in the morning and you get up at like 11, 12 o'clock and you are up again till the next morning.
Yeah.
And it
To try and
is
stay in your normal rhythm.
horrendous.
Aye, no one.
And doing it
Especially when
for
you're
a week.
fucking dieting and all.
Well, that's it. I was getting up, going and doing fasted cardio, or trying to do fasted cardio. Obviously, I wasn't fully fasted, but
yeah.
getting up, doing that, then wasn't eating till I was having like, you eat back, night shift offshore, you eat backwards. So your breakfast is your dinner.
Yeah.
And your dinner is your breakfast.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that, yeah.
So it's...
Aye, not like other night shifters that are
yeah,
at
who would,
home
who
where
can
they would
completely
adjust
change
their
food,
meal
yeah.
timings round.
No, you've got to eat the same meals.
Aye,
but
so
you
you're
just eat them
told that's
backwards.
that must be bizarre, man.
Aye.
Waking up
So
like,
you got
great,
to-
there's my dinner.
You're in the
chicken
morning,
rice.
before you go to your bed, you're eating eggs.
Aye.
Or whatever, really. I'm like,
Aye.
great. Lovely.
Sometimes people do actually have breakfast for dinner, like a fry up for dinner.
That used,
Aye, I know,
I
but
don't-
that's
I wouldn't
like,
used to
have
when I was
that.
12. Like,
That's-
I would
that's-
never choose that.
aye, no.
no, I don't get anybody really would. Like,
Some
just
people
because I
do.
fly up for my dinner. Like, do you know what I mean?
I used to get that from my mum.
I tell
Probably
you what, the
contributed to why I was so big.
See, to be fair to the mums and that, but right, it's the same way. Like my mum's just always overfed
Yeah.
because we never had
Aye, they
that
just
much
didn't want you
growing
going
up.
see you going hungry.
It's like the plates were fucking full.
Huge.
Yeah.
I used
And-
to even ask for a smaller portion, and even the smaller portion was still too
But
big.
when you were in my house,
Like, oh, how am I going to eat that?
Aye, but then you would eat it all because you felt rude if
Yeah.
you didn't eat it all.
aye,
you know what
aye,
I mean?
and sometimes I had to eat Hollies.
Aye.
Because husband, I was like, man, you can't get that back, dude, man. You should go off on that, give me it.
That was quite a lot of
It's
the
back
time.
when I used to smoke the wacky backy, wasn't it? Just don't do that. So back to the photo shoot, right? Big goal, something you'd never thought you'd ever do. Now we're in prep for it. We're nearly there. You're panicking a bit. Never going to be ready, as everybody is when they're doing this first kind of thing. Coming into the gym, we're here, we're doing it. Didn't want to take your top off. Talk us through the first maybe 20 minutes when you're in there. Obviously, you're a bit nervous and stuff.
It's funny because I actually just watched that video you posted yesterday.
Aye,
You didn't tell anybody, did you? You kept that
No,
quiet.
I was in the middle of editing it and stuff. Then I forgot I was editing it on iMovie, and then I went back to it and I put it up, and I forgot to tell anybody. I fucking put
Aye,
it
so I
up.
watched that this morning. So
I'm
No,
quite shy at YouTube's, by the way.
that wasn't
No,
too
that
bad.
good,
That wasn't too bad. No, it was all right. I mean, Hamza, I've known Hamza for a good while now. So, and he just makes you.
Made you feel
it's like
comfortable.
you're doing a photo shoot with a mate, which is a bit strange. Like your
Aye.
mate's taking your photos of you with no top on, but it's a total no homo way. Like, yeah, no, Hamza's class. He's a really nice guy, and I think just because of how friendly we are as well, you know, just kind of it kind of felt like almost like a training session.
Aye, because you did look pretty comfortable.
Aye.
You looked pretty
And
comfortable. on the
initially,
day.
I was a bit like with that day, but what happens. But
Hamza spoke you
aye,
through it.
Hamza
And I
just
suppose it's
sets
quite
the
good
tone,
talking
doesn't he?
about this one now and talking about the photo shoot because we have got
Yeah, we've got the group one next
Nova,
week, yeah.
the
Aye,
Nova
that's going to be
Fitness group
different,
one on
but compared to Blair's. Blair's was a
Saturday.
proper, like, we're doing this like prep as a bodybuilding prep. Like we're taking this to
Whereas
low body
next
fat.
week's more like lifestyle.
This is more lifestyle-y,
Yeah.
9
It's
weeks
just to
out,
say, I think
like,
it's
to
more-
give people a wee bit of
Yeah, and it's like
flavour.
our first
Yeah.
one in our very own gym.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely,
Like
yeah.
first time
I mean,
I've ever done a gym
I'm,
shoot.
I'm
it's
still
in my
don't
own
even
gym.
feel like I'm going to be ready for it, but I'm still going to be all right for it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
because
wish I was there. I would have loved to have done it. But
Aye.
I'll be in sunny Salou.
we will do another one next year. But obviously going through the photo shoot and stuff, tensing the abs and stuff, getting everything shown. Like, talk is like, how did you feel when Hamza first showed you one of the photos?
It was, I mind when it was one of the ones with there's like incline bench, and he's like, look at that, and I was just like, that's no fucking me.
Yeah.
Aye.
I was just like, oh, fuck, I've done it. I've managed.
Do you know? I think it gives you like. Do you know? I think like you go into it and you're a wee bit rigid and you're a wee bit like
Aye,
shiting yourself,
it
and
just
then you
calms you
see
down,
that
aye.
photo and you're just like, let's go.
Absolutely,
Like
it
I
just
don't know, it
calms
just
you down,
changes.
like,
Something
totally changes
changes,
everything.
and you're just like, I look class. Like I'm gonna.
Aye, I think it does. I think when you see that first initial one, I think anybody that does a photo shoot for the first time, when they see that first initial photo, it's like, that actually look
I
alright.
think you're a wee bit like, I can't
Do you know
believe
what I
that's me.
Aye.
And then obviously Rain was there, proud wife.
Aye.
in the
Gawking.
background as well. Made you some
Gawking
good
over me.
cookies and everything.
They were good.
Good cookies.
You had them yet?
Aye.
course we
I
did.
fucking
They were
scanned them when I
scranned a
got
long
them.
time ago, you joking?
I'm gonna text her to see if she ordered them out.
Order
Brains
them.
baked
No, no.
chocolate.
That's what
The problem
I'm
is,
saying.
the
I'll
problem
buy
is
them
though,
off
is
for next time.
you can't make them all year round because you need the cream eggs and
Oh,
stuff.
aye, they're not in
you can't
shops.
Fuck yeah.
try to find
Aye.
cream eggs.
Bastard, man.
and
I'll need to go on Amazon see if I can get cream eggs.
I suppose here's a curveball for you then, right? So obviously you are no stranger to dieting phases, right? You were in dieting phase before you came into the team, dieting phase in the team. You've done your dieting phases for photo shoots and stuff, but there has been a small point where you've been in a maintenance type push-up phase. What do you find more difficult? What one have you found more difficult?
Definitely push up, 100%, 100%.
And
It's not even, it's not even the scale weight going up. Yes, that's annoying, and that mentally messes you up.
Aye.
But it's trying to eat 4,000 calories of clean food.
Oh, aye, that's...
See
aye.
the amount of people who don't actually understand how much food that is.
Aye, because they're like, 4,000 calories, I can eat that, no bother, I
You
can
can't-
smash
aye,
that.
so
Aye,
could
if you're
I, if
doing
it was
a
shite.
eating competition
Aye,
on YouTube
aye.
and you're scanning
Yeah.
McDonald's
6
all day.
cookies?
Aye.
You
You're
can, eat
nearly there.
you can eat 4,000 calories of shite, no
Aye,
problem
easy.
whatsoever.
Easy.
But see, try to do 4,000 calories of clean food. That is
disgusting.
hard. It's
It
hard.
is, people don't understand. It is absolutely fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
5,500 I was at, and I was like, I cannot go anymore.
And I think it's the mindset
And by the way, that's
as
me.
well.
That's me PTing, right? So
Yeah.
that was when I was PTing. So I
So
had
your
that.
output's high, yeah.
No, even that. It was more the case. I had more time to put my meals in.
Aye, yeah, okay.
Whether if I was on site,
Aye, you'd be
I'd have one
condensing
breakfast,
them
I'd have
together.
one lunch, and I'd have my dinner.
yeah,
How the
so
fuck
you
am I putting in an hour like 3 meals?
But I think as well, it's
you know
the
what I mean?
whole, like, you have been losing weight. You're like, right, fat loss, see the scales drop. You're seeing change in your body every single week to then, I'm now having to purposely put on weight. And I think the first thing you think in your head is,
I'm going
I'm
to
going to
get
get fat.
But we had to change that, didn't we? We had to, I mean, at the moment I weigh myself every day.
Yeah.
But when we go into a push-up phase, that comes out and it goes to once a week or once a fortnight or whatever.
I think it's
Because
very
it-
person dependent as
Yeah,
well, and
yeah,
it
I
mentally,
feels like it's
mentally, you
very-
need to do that because
Yeah.
you cannot stand on those scales.
It's-
It
Every
just
day.
messes you up.
The thing is, with pushing up, like you need to be trying to find a level of food where you're going to be able to eat it. You're getting stronger. Things are progressing. Weights are progressing. As long as it's progressing, and your weight's going up slightly
and not too fast.
and not too fast, because it will go up quite quick the first couple of weeks because the glycogen storage is going up, salt
Yes.
intake, everything, sodium,
course,
stuff like that. It will go up pretty quickly. Then there'll become a level of it's maybe just a couple of pound or whatever, £1. But if we're going 3, 4, 5 pound a week, you're getting fat.
Yeah.
And that's what people kind
gotta
of don't
limit that,
understand.
yeah.
And then it's like, right, we need to pull the food back down because it's too much. But then a lot of people, what they think when they get a push-up phase or an off-season, they tend to fill it with their food and then some shit,
Yeah.
which is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Because if you're eating enough food where it's clean, you shouldn't want to be eating any shit.
Aye.
Like I was fucking hell, I've got another meal. Do you know what I mean? Like
it's what I
I
was
couldn't
like
think
towards
about
the end.
eating anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Because I'd have another meal to fucking eat.
I was like that towards the end of that.
Yeah.
The one at the end of the year. Like, I was like, I can't even be arsed eating.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat now. and I know there's guys on a lot more calories
Yeah.
than that. Like, and they're going through the same. Like, you just end up force feeding yourself just to get
That's
the meals
worse than
in.
dieting.
It's horrendous.
Like,
Like, you
it's-
feel brutal
yeah.
all the time, and you just feel sluggish, and you just.
It's
not
like
a
I
nice
always
feeling.
say this about the like when you're at the end of your dieting phase, right? Obviously fatigue's there, your strength's dropped, you've got low energy, you're not eating a lot of food. But you kind of feel similar like when you're right at the top end of your push-up phase because as you said there, like
Yeah.
you feel sluggish, you're just like the meals are going in but you're just like, ugh, like I can't physically put more in me. Like, so even though it's two very different phases, you kind of feel a bit similar at the end at the end of both of them.
Aye,
And then there's this nice, gorgeous sweet spot in the middle. And when anyone's there, I'm like, embrace it. Embrace that sweet spot right in the middle because you're knowing that for a long
Aye,
time.
but when you're in that sweet spot, you're not really doing anything.
Aye,
Nothing's happening.
Right, you
That's
can
it.
maintain a bit, but
Aye, but you're just there. Like you're not really focusing
Just
towards anything.
existing.
Do you know what I mean? And that's, to be fair, I don't think I've really been in that phase. I'm either one or the fucking other. I know I'm always out of place. But
To be fair,
my journey's
I'm in,
different
when
now,
I'm,
but-
normally when I'm in like my hybrid preps, like I'm in my sweet spot because I'm not gaining overly too much. Like, I'm expending a lot of
Yeah.
energy and I'm eating food in order to thing it. So I think there's been a lot of times I've been in a sweet spot. But it's been with that. So I suppose moving on, let's chat a wee bit more about the team, because you've obviously been in the team for quite a while. Did you think that you'd be where you are right now, like you'd achieve kind of what you have so far, like when you first joined the team, I suppose?
I don't think so, no. It's hard. I never look too far in advance. Like I'm the sort of person that maximum I looks 6 months down the line. Like, and I don't care what happens after 6 months. I'll deal with it when it happens.
I mean, that initial goal was fat loss, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And it was to
that
get
was
a
it.
vest.
Yeah, it was a case of I wanted to get as lean as possible. I wanted to get myself in shape, and after that, we'll see what happens. And just one thing led to another, and then
I think you need to, but I think you need to give yourself, because I actually had this conversation with one of the
you need to
clients
give
this
yourself
morning.
something to aim for.
You need to give
100%.
yourself something because with anybody that starts something new, you'll hit a lull, like a valley of despair, where you'll be this high, everything's new, you've got a new coach or new style of
Oh, you're
training,
buzzing.
everything.
The momentum's there.
And then 6, 8 to 10 weeks goes by, then you start down, it's like
It's just the
it's the same thing. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, and it's like you need to give yourself. Anybody can go, oh, I want to get to 12 stone. Oh, I want to get to 10 stone. Is that enough for you not to cheat?
Nah.
Do you get what I'm
You
saying?
need something. You need
Like-
you need a physical or like an actual
Yeah,
target. To
I
hit.
think you need-
remember last
yeah.
year when I came back from Turkey, I was in all over the place. I couldn't stop eating.
Yeah.
I was just like, I had nothing to aim for. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm just eating. I'm
Yeah,
not even
lost.
existing now. I'm just lost. And that's when we
photo shoot.
said, right, we're going to do a photo shoot to give me something to work
Yeah.
towards. But yeah, like that was the first time I thought further than 6 months in advance. I thought, right, this gives me. It was pushing on. It was maybe 10 months or something like that, and it gave me 10 months. Then I've got 10 months to focus.
Yeah.
I can work on that. I've got something there to aim for. And again, I'm going to probably do that for next year. Once I get my rota for work, we can start looking and saying, right, this is when we're going to start planning things. We're going to have this for push-up phase. We're going to have this for prep.
I reverse engineer it basically from a day.
basically, yeah.
I think what we need to just let everybody obviously listen and understand, like when you're going through that dieting phase, right, you were probably 98% consistent with nutrition.
I wouldn't say 98%.
What would you say?
I would have said about 80%. There was more there for me to give. There was times where I probably had a wee bit more here and there. Right? Don't get me wrong, it wasn't much, but there was times where I was like, I'm just going to hate this. I don't care. But a bit like you with bagel, like
But were you tracking it?
no. Sometimes I was, sometimes I wasn't. This depends what it was. But it was one of them. Like it's like I need it. I just when you get that overwhelming urge and you just can't. I mean, a lot of times I can mentally talk myself out of doing something.
Yeah.
And it'd say like there's a Mars bar and I'm like, I really want that Mars bar. And before you even know and before you even get a chance to stop yourself taking it, you've got it in your mouth and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I may as well finish it now.
But I think so basically in the lead up to that, right, but you've been strict for
Oh yeah.
yes, that's what I'm saying. So you've been strict for at least 6-7 weeks maybe total, then you've had a slip up.
Yeah.
Right? So basically what I'm trying to tell people the now is that like if you're dieting and you're not losing weight week to week, it's typically because you're not doing something correct.
You've got
As Blair said,
maintain
you will have
it.
a slip up, and it's how quickly you get over that slip up.
Yeah.
Let's bounce back.
It's what's going to matter most.
Sometimes you've got to let it get out of your system to
and
then be able to refocus.
especially if you're just a lifestyle client who is just dieting for the sake of dieting to lose weight, then if you're not losing weight, like it's physically, scientifically impossible not to lose weight on a fucking calorie deficit, especially if you're doing everything you're meant to do. If you've not lost weight, maybe 1 week, potentially, depending on when you train and inflammation and stuff like that, but if you got to a second week and it's the same again, or you've gained weight, that's because you're not doing something that you're meant to be doing. And by the way, you might be doing something that you might not even know you're doing.
Yeah.
When it comes down to sauces,
I was just about to say that.
yeah.
A lot of
it
people
could
in
be
there like, oh, I'm a
anything.
sauce
It
fiend.
could be
and
a
it's
lot
like,
of people get coffees. They like to go to Costa, get lattes, maybe every second day, frappies and stuff. And it's like, it's just a drink. Obviously, this is more people that really don't have an actual, like, not a clue,
they
but
don't
they're really
understand,
not educated on stuff like that. And it's like, so you need to then ask yourself and go, right, if I've got this plan, I'm following this plan. I'm 100% following this plan and I'm not eating anything or drinking anything out of that plan. Even sauces, there's nothing in my sauces. and you're still not losing weight, then you're not in a calorie deficit because the food needs to come down.
Yeah.
But if that happens and you're still not losing weight and then you're gaining weight, then you're doing something that you just need to overlook, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like with you've been consistent for 6-7 weeks, then had a slip up Mars bar. Oh fuck! Then right back on it.
Aye.
Look at the shape you got yourself in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aye,
Do you get what I'm saying? So
I say 80%, right? But whenever I
That's
had
you
it,
probably been harsh on yourself.
Yeah,
Because we're all
probably.
harsh on ourselves.
aye, when I had a slip up, it was over, and it wasn't a slip up for 2 days or 3
Yeah.
days. It
Aye, it
was
was-
one thing, one night, and that was it. The next morning, straight back on it.
Yeah.
And that was it. It was
yeah,
just,
I
it
think
was-
that's what matters. That's the
Yeah.
big thing.
Aye.
And that's what people don't understand is like they could slip up, and then they just got fucked it for the week.
Aye, and just
Oh,
like, I'll start
yeah,
again.
so
Do you know
that's
what I'm
it.
saying?
It's that
It's
fuck
like-
it button. It's like it's not that slip up, for instance, right? But it's the actions you take after that,
Yeah.
because we all have this bit of like all or nothing mentality. Like we all have it. Like everyone coming in and beginning has it, but over time you learn to kind of stop that all or nothing. And it's like, right, for instance, I don't know, say you went out for dinner or something, right, and you maybe did go a wee bit over your calories for that day, right? Now bearing in mind calories are obviously over the week average,
it's
not
over
just
the
that
7
day,
days,
but.
yeah.
Right, okay, you've went over the calories for the day because you've went out for dinner or whatever a day at the weekend, but it's like you then come home and you're like, oh, well, I've already went out for dinner, I've already went over my calories, what's in that cupboard? Right, I'll grab that out. Right, well, I fucked it now, so I may as well have that. The Sunday, you don't even think about it. Do you know what I mean? It just rolls in, whereas it's like, see if you just had that one dinner, went a wee bit over your calories and just went straight back to your plan, it would have made absolutely no difference to you.
Yeah.
And that's the issue that people have. It's no just the... Aye,
Yeah,
one wee slip
no,
up and then
right.
just... It's
The
the
amount of
bounce back
times-
rate. We always talk
The
about
amount
it.
of times
Like,
people like, oh, gets to the weekend and it's almost as if like the weekend doesn't count.
it's because it's
Yeah.
more time.
Aye.
Like that's the
You're
thing.
bored-
See,
it's boredom,
during
it
the week,
becomes
you're in
boredom,
routine.
yeah.
Like you're the same when you're home from offshore. You've got more time,
I
and
struggle
I
at
bet that's
home,
the
aye.
time when you're sitting there like, right, I could do that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when you're offshore, you're working all
Yeah.
these hours. You know your routine. It's there.
Yeah.
Like so, most people do struggle when it comes to when they've got more time, and it's just like, right, it's boredom, innit? It's just
Yeah.
like what do I do
I think
to
that's
fill
why,
that?
why prep, even when I was at home, wasn't so bad, was because I had 15,000 steps to do every day, and there was no way I was doing that in the house.
If you had to
So
get
I
out.
had to get out, and
Yeah.
I was out, and when even if it was pissing the rain, I was out in it, and 15,000 steps takes a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
So kind of training in the morning, out in the afternoon, walking. That was my day, and I didn't hate time to be bored and hunger, like be like boredom eat, because I wasn't in the house long enough to
To do
for
it,
that
yeah.
boredom
Yeah.
to build up. It was like I'd be in the house for an hour or two or whatever through the day, and I'd be like, I'll jump on the computer, or I'll spend time with the dog, or I'll do a bit of housework, and then right, I'm out for my walk now,
Yeah.
and that was it. Like that kept me away from the cupboard.
I think you've then just found a routine and a structure that works and gets what needs to be done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aye.
And
That's
as long
just
as you can
thinking
stay in that, obviously things are going to happen. And
No, there was
come
still,
up,
don't
but
get me wrong, there was days where
Yeah.
it was like I can't even bother.
you can't. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what's going to happen. But it's like basically the big point in the big picture is it's like regardless of what you're doing in terms of like dieting and stuff like that, if you really want to get into a decent shape, it still comes back down to the consistency. It still comes back down to like, yes, you're going to have a slip up unless you're going to fuck up. Like, we all do it. Everybody does it. I don't care who says they don't do it. They fucking do it. Unless you're really top level who's been at it for fucking years.
even
do
they
you know what I
probably
mean?
still have a
They
slip
probably
up.
do have, like,
Yeah.
it's like, you as long as you find something that works, stick to it.
Yeah.
And I think having people around you as well that are kind of similar and can help support you. And I suppose bringing this back to the team, it's like that's what we've tried to do with the team, is like bringing people together. Like everyone's kind of in the same, got the same goals, the same situations, like maybe very similar family life and stuff like that as well. We seem to bring in very
it's still
similar
hard.
people.
Like even like
Yeah.
when you see what Blair's came through, and you see what Claire's came through, you see what Lara's came through, even
it's, like,
Jenny as
inspiring.
well. Like it's similar but different. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Aye.
But even when you try and tell a new client to come in and say, look, this is what they've been through, they still don't really believe you because they don't believe it can happen to them.
Yeah.
Or it'll work for them.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
It's building that self-belief.
It's building
in them.
the self-belief.
But
and
then it's like, look at Blair coming into the team. He didn't really have too many expectations, and I bet you've got a lot more belief now than when you first started.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's built over time, sort of thing as well. For
but I think
doing.
a lot of people don't give it enough fucking time. That's a problem.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
that
a lot of
too.
people
You've been
think it's
in
going to
it.
happen. A
That's
lot
the
of folk
problem.
think it's going to happen overnight.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
There's loads of guys at my work who'll be like, oh, again, they'll say like, oh, I need to lose a bit of weight. I'm going on holiday in a month. I'm like,
Well, you've
a
left
month?
that a bit late.
A month?
Aye, yeah.
if you
No.
want to lose some weight, like a genuine amount of weight, and be able to keep it off, then you need more than a month, pal.
Yeah.
Like, you need to invest now for a holiday in 6 months.
Yeah.
And give yourself time, because if you try and crash diet, you'll just put it all back on.
Yeah,
Exactly,
like,
yeah,
you could turn around
100%.
and we could go. I've never done this with anybody. My coach has mentioned it to me before. I've hovered about the scenario of doing it because it can be very, very good for you. But I think it would be absolutely horrendous. And see, you drop weight quickly if you want to do it. Yes.
Oh,
No
good
thanks.
man, Ken,
Yeah.
worse.
But
No.
because it can help
It's
after
good
a
to
certain
be
amount of
very
hours,
good,
it
like,
can
for your
help
liver and
regenerate
stuff,
fucking,
like-
yes, it can help, right, blood work and everything, by the way.
Nah, I've heard
the
that.
whole shebang.
Fed like 36-hour fast is a
Even if you had to go to 72, it's meant to be fucking like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I couldn't think anything worse.
I ken a boy who done a 72-hour bone marrow fast.
No, man.
So he basically had water and bone marrow for 5 days solid. Or was that 72 hours? 5 days? Something like that.
I will
3 or 4
40,
days.
48, what,
40
2
days,
hours,
2
two
days.
days.
72, so is that
40,
not,
so-
that'll be 4, is it not like 4 days?
Aye,
Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that.
That's what I'm saying.
days.
So that's fucking wild. But it's meant to be really, really good for you. And if you wanted to drop weight very quickly, then I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, by the way, because you need to make sure that you can't have eating apart from like water.
Aye.
Or if you're going to go doing the bone marrow fucking route, the bone broth, you could bone broth or something like that, can't you?
Bone broth, that's it, aye.
Speaking of time,
Mm-hmm.
obviously Blair has been one of our longest standing clients, coming up for nearly 2 years in the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an exciting announcement for the podcast. He's sporting his t-shirt, isn't he?
Aye. The old ambassador t-shirt,
Aye, the ambassador t-shirt.
which is the first kind of announcement that we've had on the podcast.
Yeah, so very exciting announcement for our Blair becoming a Nova Ambassador. He's been through
First male.
everything within the
Yeah.
team, like from where he came from in the very beginning to where he is now. And I suppose that's a journey that we want to take all our clients on. So
Yeah. And I think as well as everyone's got to remember that anybody can achieve it. You just have to give it a go.
yeah.
Put in as much as you want and you will get more out.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't fully commit, then
But the thing is with you,
not
like
gonna
you've
get anywhere.
always been very open and honest as well. That's one, like
Yeah.
you've always been so open and honest when you're struggling, when you're buzzing and got wins and stuff. Like it's one thing that you've never,
Yeah.
never hold back. Like you've never been too proud to be like, I'm just gonna no say this. Like you'll tell. Like you guys have built a really good relationship where you tell each other. Do you know that way? And I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's the thing. Like you want to be helped. Do you know that way? And you've always been very, very open
yeah,
throughout the whole thing, because
absolutely,
it's not an easy journey.
yeah. No, it's not.
It's no, but it's the same thing. It's like he's probably had doubts in me with certain things, doing things, which I think anybody that gets
Yeah.
coached to a certain degree,
Yeah,
the
you're
things are
always
going
gonna
to happen.
question stuff.
Especially if you're doing your own thing and you're researching things and you're saying that works for him and that works for him, and it's like,
Right, well,
like,
look
wait a
at us,
minute, what am I doing? And I've doubted my coach plenty of times, and I've said it to you. I went, because I've learned stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but I went, no, like, I'm paying them for a reason, obviously, do you know what I mean? And it's worked out every time, so
look at clients, but as soon as it's not working, I need to cut calories. That's the first thing everyone thinks, and it's like no,
but the worst thing is when they cut it without telling you,
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's like,
Like all of a sudden, you go and cut their calories a week later,
Aye.
and they're like, oh no, I've already done those calories.
I've already done them, so it's
Aye,
like, well,
so
where do we
it's-
fucking go for
where
here
do we go
then?
for here,
Do you know
aye.
what I mean? So I think being very, very open and honest, and that's, you need to be, man. You
Yeah.
need to be, not only for your own sake, for your coach-client relationship, because, all right, you don't need to be open about everything that happens in your life and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be to a certain degree if you want to, because we're here to chat. As much as we're coaches, like, we're here to help if we can. Do you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
and sometimes some people find it easier to open up to somebody that they don't really know. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially over like a voice note or something like that. And it's just like the more that your coach understands and knows about what's happening during your life can make him understand or her understand what needs to move.
That's
what
why
needs
it's
to
so
happen to move
important to
forward.
obviously find a coach that works for you. And you've said there at the beginning of the podcast, like you went through multiple coaches before you found the one that was for you.
But I
which is
also
obviously
think there was a
Stephen.
lot during your photo shoot. There was a lot of things that were coming up, like maybe going to be redundant. Obviously, your gran. Like there was a lot of things that were happening here that could have easily
Could have derailed it.
just
like,
derailed that, switched that big time. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, I'm standing back and I'm like, right, we need to see how this is going to play out, because at the end of the day, I wouldn't want to be pushing you towards something when you've got all this going on in the background. It could be mentally very challenging. Do you know what I mean? And it could be just as simple as, let's move the shoot. Because
Yeah,
it
but
can fucking happen.
But I was already feel even if they'd turned and says, you're getting made redundant, I was doing that photo shoot. I was not
nothing
caring.
was stopping you.
Nothing was stopping me.
Tunnel vision.
That was it. It was just happening. My gran, all right. My gran, that was a bit of a different situation. Obviously,
Yeah.
she's getting old now. She's blind. She can't walk. But I knew that my mum and my uncle and all the rest of the family had that all under control. There was nothing I could do that would kind of benefit her or and help the situation. So that was all under control. I knew my family had that under control. The redundancy totally out with my control. I couldn't do anything about it. So why let it bother me?
Yeah,
and that's the
100%.
kind of philosophy I've always went by. Is if I can control something, I'll deal with it. If it's out with it, ignore it. Just get on with it because you cannot influence it whatsoever.
No, that's
so
true.
Anything that came up during prep, I was just like, right, oh well.
To be fair, that's why we waited to ask you to be ambassador till after prep, didn't we? I was like, he's in prep just now. Let's just leave him till afterwards to ask him if he wants to be ambassador. Obviously, you were buzzing about it anyway when we asked. Do you know what I mean? But I was like, no, he's got enough on his plate. Just leave him now until afterwards. Because obviously, Claire, we had asked Claire and we had announced that, and you were always going to. Blair was always our like the other ambassador, but we were just kind of like, no, hold off. Let him do his prep and his photo shoot first of all.
Because you just don't know, like, as much as it maybe not that big a thing, like, you don't know. So it's like, I'd rather just leave it now and we'll wait till after he's done. Do you know what I mean? And then I was going to tell you after your shoot, and I was like, no, you're on a high, so you're going, we'll leave that.
Lots of donuts.
Mate, see when I went through to get them, mate, I'm telling you, man.
I almost ended up in his mouth, man.
It was like that velvet one, it was only two of them left,
so
man.
good,
And it was hardly any, and I'm going, oh my God, look at that velvet cake, man. I'm like,
so good.
To be fair, like, obviously we've got the photo shoot coming on Saturday. We've already we've already ordered cakes, haven't we?
Aye.
For us. For afterwards, and I'm like, right, that's enough because we go on holiday the Tuesday. I was like, can't be eating all those cakes and then go on holiday.
I know.
Plus, I love pastries, so what am I going to eat every day on holiday? Pastries?
Definitely. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just talking about apricot pastry and Nutella.
Apricot, aye.
I tried it in Turkey. They had like little apricot pastries, and then I don't know if you've ever been to Turkey, but the Nutella in Turkey is unbelievable.
Is it?
It's
God.
Pure runny and really chocolatey. So I was having that with Nutella.
On top of the apricot. That's a cool random
it was total
concoction,
random, but it was
like
so good.
Chocolate.
It was so good. But I was like, you know what? I'm on holiday. I can.
No, but that is it. Like, you're on holiday, and it's like you don't go on holiday all the time.
Well, that's
so
it.
it's
You go on
fine
holiday
to enjoy
maybe
yourself.
once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And you work all that year to get in shape to go on holiday.
Yeah.
So
just enjoy
you've
it.
got to enjoy it because otherwise, what is the point in going on a diet?
Oh, I do always say indulge but don't binge. So
well,
like,
I think the difference is, but it's like,
don't be a pig about
when
it.
I used to diet and I used to diet for a holiday and go all inclusive and eat whatever I want. Obviously, it's different now how I set things up because I know how my body will react.
But you would only diet until the holiday to get abs purely for the holiday.
But I've still never been able to get abs.
to then
because I've never dieted so
holiday,
fucking hard.
Forget about training and dieting until about 12 weeks out for the next holiday and go, fuck, I'm going on holiday. I need to get you. Like, we all done it. Like, I was about 2 weeks out and I was like, fuck, man, give me some like mad, like, I don't know.
Herbalife.
Like, Herbalife just plus all those mad like sachets you used to put in.
The coffee diet, that was the other one.
Slim fast,
honestly, eating like how to lose 2 stone in 2 weeks. That was me. Yep.
Just chop an arm off.
I think that's us.
You need to ask the last question.
That's right. So we do. Right, okay. So Blair, I've got a question to ask you, right? This is a question that we ask everybody that comes onto the podcast, right? If there's somebody out there watching this and listening to this who are on the fence about joining the team, what's one thing that you would say to them?
It's difficult, that, isn't it? No, like Nova's class, and you get in what you get out what you put in. Everyone kind of helps each other and he gets by. Obviously, you've got 2 great coaches here, and Jenny as well. I always forget Jenny's a coach now.
We've got 3
so
coaches
we've got 3
now.
coaches now, and then you've got Claire, myself, a couple other guys who've been in the team for a very long time. We're all willing to help out. It's a very friendly atmosphere. Everybody wants to see everybody succeed. There's nobody that's nasty. Nobody's going to be like, oh,
when you let nasty people in.
No, it's one of them, isn't it? Nobody's going to do anything to kind of put someone down, and everyone builds each other up. Somebody put a post the other day, and all of a sudden everyone was like, "Oh, well done, well done, well done."
Yeah.
And
Aye, Lise, she put up yesterday.
yeah.
It was the jeans final.
Yeah, so like, it's just such a nice, welcoming atmosphere that if you are on the fence, if you can, just try it. There's not, you've got nothing to lose. Like,
but everything to gain.
aye, if you don't make that jump, you're going to be in the same position in 3 months.
Yeah.
If you take that risk, join Nova, in 3 months, I guarantee you there'll be a difference. And mentally as well. It's not just physically. Mentally, you'll change. Like, I've changed. I don't even like chocolate anymore.
Unless it's Dubai chocolate.
It's a wee lie, but I've got, I don't know how many more chocolate bars in the cupboard, and I'm leaving open them. I'm not even looked at them.
You can get it with me if you want. If there's folks out there.
Could not do that in our house with you, could you?
No,
Like chocolate bars in the cupboard.
Nah.
Stephen's one of those ones where you buy something and 2 days later he's like, Holly, what are you doing with that? I'm going to eat it when I get to it. Like, it's been there for ages.
It has been there for ages. Sometimes you'll buy like cooked chicken and it will sit there in the fridge and I'm like, what are you doing with that cooked chicken? Like, if Steve I bought cooked chicken, that cooked chicken's gone.
Or it's like, my
it's gone.
sourdough, what are you doing with that sourdough?
Aye.
I know it's there.
Aye, I'm like, well, were you going to eat it? Because before it goes out of date and stuff, because I'm going to have it as toast, know what I mean?